welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a lovely beanie using the herringbone single crochet stitch. And this is going to be a child's hat, specifically 2 to 3 years old. And I'm using a 6mm crochet hook using chunky yarn. And now to begin with, you're going to make a chain, and this is how I start my chain with a slip knot. You can always make your slip knot however you want. There are very many ways of making a slip knot. Now chain 1, 2, 3. We want to make a total of 35 chains. So you're going to go ahead and complete your 35 chains, as you can see in this video. If you're using medium weight yarn, you'll make a chain of 60. Yeah, but because we're using chunky yarn, we are making half of that. Now here I have my 30 chains. I'm going to make plus 5. Yeah, I'm going to add 5 chains to make 35. That will measure around 14.5 inches. Now when you come to the end, you're going to make one more chain, and this doesn't count as a stitch. So in the first chain space, we are going to make a slip stitch. So this is going to be the top part of the hat. So you want it to end in slip stitches. You're going to make 5 of these. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to make one more slip stitch. Once you have made 5 slip stitches, you're going to insert your stitch marker right here. Now, I can't find mine, but go ahead and insert yours. And now we are going to start making the herringbone stitch, single crochet stitch rather. To begin this, we start with a half double crochet. And in the last strand is where we are going to be working. So you insert your hook in the last strand and go through the next chain space, pull through all 3. So insert your hook in the last strand, go into the next chain space and pull up a loop through all the 3. Insert your hook, go to the next chain space, pull up a loop and go through all the 3. You're going to keep doing this until you come to the end. Now this somehow looks like the half double crochet stitch. But it makes a very beautiful design. Keep making herringbone single crochet stitches until you come to the end of the row. And now I'm here almost at the end of the row, and I want to show you guys how to make that corner. So when you come to the end of your row, you're simply going to chain 1 and turn. So now we're going to work on row 2, and to do this we begin with a half double crochet. Then in the last strand, insert the hook, go into the next chain space, pull up a loop, and then go through all the 3. You're going to repeat this until you reach the space where you made the 5 slip stitches, where you inserted the stitch markers. We are almost coming to the point where we placed our stitch marker. Now I used my yarn, as I told you before, that I cannot find my stitch marker. So if you don't have one, you can just use yarn of a different color to mark that space. Take out the stitch marker, and then you're going to begin making the slip stitches. So that is 1, and then I'm going to put back my stitch marker. Make slip stitches all the way to the end. So these are 5 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just to be sure. That's why I'm counting. You're going to chain 1, then turn your work. Again, in the back loop, we are going to make 5 slip stitches. Take out your stitch marker and insert it at the point where the 5 slip stitches stop. Then we make a half double crochet. In the last strand, or you can call it the loop, you're going to create the herringbone single crochet stitch. Repeat this until the end of the row, and for the next rows, all the next rows, we are going to make the same thing. You repeat the same pattern. 30 herringbone single crochet stitches, and then until you have 34 rows. I made 34 rows because I want my hat to measure 17 inches. That is the circumference. So I'm making 34 rows to have the 17 inches. So keep doing your rows. Guys, here I am. I'm back with my 34 rows. And this is how it looks like. Now remember, if you want it to be bigger, you just add the number of rows. Now we are going to join both sides. You can choose to do from top to bottom or from bottom all the way to the top. Now, because I don't want to cut my yarn, I'm going to join mine from the top where my 34 rows ended. So you're going to grab your hook. What other people like to do is cut the yarn and use the needle. You can use any type of needle that you want as long as it suits the yarn size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert my hook in the first, at the point where I had the first slip stitch. Make sure you get that very first one. So you insert your hook, then you pull up a loop. This is how I join my sides. You can join them the way you want using a needle. So in the next space, insert your hook, and also for the side B, you insert the hook on the edge. Now let me undo it so I can show you properly. Insert your hook in the very first space of the slip stitch. You insert it also on the other side, then you pull up a loop. In the next space, insert your hook. And then that side has two straps. So I like to work in the last one. I skip the first one and work in the last one because I like the result that it creates. Very beautiful. So in the next space, insert your hook. And then you pull up a loop. This is very simple, guys. You keep doing this until you join all the two sides. Insert your hook in both sides. Then you pull. And please don't mind about my nail polish. I noticed in my previous video, someone commented that they didn't like my nail polish. Please, the nail polish doesn't matter. So I'm going to show you how it looks like. You can see that both sides are correctly joined, no spaces shown. So keep working in this manner until the end So once you're done joining both sides, grab your scissors and cut the remaining yarn. And once you're done, you're going to tie up a knot. Again, there are very many ways of tying up knots. You can do it in the way you prefer. And then next, we are going to join the top. And on this side, we're going to use a darning needle. So insert yarn in the needle, and then I'll show you how to join the top. To make it stronger, you can have 2 straps on your needle, but since this is already thick yarn, 1 strap is enough, but to be sure you can use 2. So once you have the size that you want, you'll just cut up the remaining yarn and then begin to join. So you're going to insert the needle in the very first row. So we are going to be working on the front and back. We're going to be working through front and back, so that once we come to the end, you just pull it all at once for the space to close up. So I'm inserting my needle in the first row. Make sure you leave enough thread to tie up a knot at the end. So insert your hook so that it passes through both the front part of the row and also its back. Just like you see how I'm doing mine. So in one row, we go through twice, front and back, so that the needle faces where you're working from. And by the way, this is going to be our wrong side of the hat. The side where you join both sides of the hat is the wrong side. Once we are done with everything, we are going to turn it. So right now, we are working inside out of the hat. So pass the needle through all the row spaces until you reach the end. So here I am in the last row. Make sure you work through all the spaces. We don't want the bottom to be open. So once you're done, you're going to pull the thread. Pull it so that the circle closes up, like I'm doing mine. So you grab the both sides of the thread or the 2 straps, pull, until you see that the circle has closed up, and then tie a knot. Then you'll cut the thread. So you're going to weave in the remaining thread so that our work looks neat. For some people, they'll just cut this off, or you can just use your hook. Try this within the work that you already did. At this point, if you want, since it's a child's hat, you can put a pom-pom. There are videos that show how to make one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and also hit the notification bell in case we upload a new video. Bye.